Do you guys remember last year when we traded for Jake Marisnick? Because I don't. Well, AJ Preller actually did it. This trade deadline completely exceeded my expectations. So we're going to break down every trade in order. And so first is Josh Hayder. Yeah, this guy's having a down year, but he's still a freak. He's got a career 2.47 ERA. He leads the league in saves on a down year. So this trade, we traded to get Hayder for reliever Taylor Rogers, Nelson Lamet, and our prospects Robert Gasser and Esteury Ruiz. Rogers, he was good in the beginning, but I think he was just riding the hot streak. He's had a good career, but it wasn't working out for us. And when you got a 9 ERA in the last 2 months, it's not going to work. And Nelson Lamet, I used to be so high on this guy, but his elbow is cooked. I was at the game the other day against the Twins when he was pitching. He was throwing 94-mile-an-hour fastballs. I remember in 2020 when he was touching 97 to 100, averaging 97. Man, his elbow is pretty much done. He never got Tommy John from that injury, so it's basically one cooked elbow gone, so I'm fine with that. And then Esteury Ruiz, I think he's got a very high ceiling. He's been done great in the minors, all those stolen bases, some power, he's hitting for average, but we're trying to win now, and I think Josh Hader is a great pickup to help with that closer role. And you guys know what I'm going to talk about. We got Juan Soto and Josh Bell. We can't forget about that. I remember in the video I talked about a potential package deal, and the Nationals got a pretty good return, but more on that later. So we got Juan Soto and Josh Bell, some generational talents in Juan Soto. For C.J. Abrams, Robert Hassel III, James Wood, who's going to be very good, Mackenzie Gore, and then a very young pitcher, Harlan Susanna. And you know who's supposed to be in that deal? Eric Hosmer. But of course he has that no-trade clause, and he decides to decline the trade. And you know who we have to lose out on? Luke Voit. Man, I feel really bad. I really liked Luke. Sure, he wasn't the greatest for us. He was definitely an above-average hitter, but man, it's really tough. I'm sure Voit wasn't too happy with Hosmer while they were packing up their gear to get out of there. I don't think anybody wants to play for the Nationals, but Hosmer ends up going to Boston. We traded him for a guy named Jay Groomer, who's a former 12th overall pick, but he hasn't done too great in the minors. He's 23 years old. So Josh Bell and Juan Soto, some huge pickups for us. Josh Bell hits for average. He's hitting for power. He's having a career year, like a 152 OPS plus. I expect him to be great for a switch hitting bat, although he might only be a rental because he's going to be a free agent after this year. But we got Juan Soto. You call it a down year, but he's got a 159 OPS plus. He's crazy. He's compared to all these crazy names that are all Hall of Famers, and we're definitely in a great position to win right now. And maybe we can extend him because I did hear talks that Preller made sure to leave enough money to be able to extend him in the future. And then lastly, we got Brandon Drury, which I think is a very underrated pickup. We got him from the Reds for our 6th prospect in the minors. So the Padres 6th overall prospect, I think, is Victor Acosta. He's only 18, but I think Brandon Drury is a great pickup. He can play everywhere. I think he plays third mostly, but he's got more home runs and more RBIs than Manny. Granted, he's playing at Great American Ballpark, which is very, very small compared to Petco Park, but he's having the best year of his career. He's 29, and I think it's also a great pickup for depth. And then we're going to have Tatis coming back soon. I think we're in a great position. So I'm really happy with this trade deadline. Preller's gained a lot of my trust back, but we're going to have to, at the end of the day, keep playing and keep winning. It's one thing to get these guys, but it's another to keep winning. So hopefully we can go out there and beat the Rockies tonight and just continue to show up because we're 3.5 games in the second wild card spot. And I really don't expect to win a division, if we're being honest. The Dodgers are just so far ahead of us. But I would like to be in that first wild card spot to get that home field advantage when the series does start. And let's just focus on making the playoffs too. But some huge pickups, some great depth, and I'm just so happy with how it turned out. And thank you, AJ Preller, that we did not get Jake Marisnick and have to sign Vince Velasquez and Jake Arrieta because that was just miserable. But anyways, go Padres, and I'll see you in the next one.